So I decided to create a post about my National Collectors Convention experience. Sean from I Collect Tickets gave me some inspiration, and Dave Kaminke. And I like to watch the Patrick Ryan videos about his collection. So I figured I'd start making some videos about my collection and what I got. And figured I'd start off with what I picked up over at the National. So we got in on Wednesday. I feel like Wednesday is the best day to get in there. You can see everything. Whatever the dealers got out, you can get it before anybody else sees it. And I think that's pretty important with tickets, especially because it's few and far between. And it really is like finding diamonds in the rough, finding those hidden gems, which I feel like I did find a few hidden gems and was very excited about some of the tickets that I found. Went there from Wednesday through Sunday. Every day, off and on, was there. Checked out a Cubs game, a White Sox game. Just a great experience for anybody who wants to go see it. Any ticket collectors, there's always things to find out there, and I'll talk about what I found and kind of how I found them and how much I spent. I'll start off with the first one that I was most excited about. Let me flip it over. So this was Willie Mays' first The Catch, the famous game, the 1954 World Series Game 1. I found this with a guy who just had a bunch of cards, and he had 2 tickets. One was signed by some random person. I don't even remember what the ticket was, and I saw this ticket. And I got really excited because I sold this one a year or two ago for next to nothing, but it was in really bad condition. But ever since I let it go, I always regretted it. So I've always kind of been looking for this ticket. When I found it, I was super, super excited. As you can see, it's amazing condition. So nice, I'm almost worried that it's trimmed. But even if it is, I felt like it was well worth it. I went in there, the guy wanted $1,500. I think it was a Thursday. I tried to get him down. Tried, he wouldn't do it. And the way I saw it, this is a SGC Authentic. My plan is to crack it, turn it into PSA, and I think it has a great chance, as long as it's not trimmed, to be the highest graded Willie Mays Game 1 catch ticket. I'll see if you can see it a little closer, but I mean, it's really, really, really nice. There's a couple corners that are bent. If you can see the bottom, I'll flip it over. Just amazing ticket. Amazing ticket. I was super, super excited to find it, and it was my favorite purchase of the whole show. A few of the other purchases I made, we'll probably go and look at. This was my actually first purchase of the show. There's a guy right across from the table from me. I have an Ohtani box office ticket, but I've been looking for a season ticket holder ticket. I'm sure more of these will come out of the woodwork. They pop up on eBay, but they go pretty quick. I know Ohtani's really hot right now, and there's a chance they could cool off and collectors could cool off on it, but it was something I just wanted to have. I think this one cost me $750. I know on eBay they've been going for more, and it's hard to tell, but I think a few of them even went $1,000 plus. Maybe a lower grade, some raws have sold. I think there was a 9 or 10 that they went like $2,000 or $3,000 for. But I think this is just an awesome, great ticket if you're an Ohtani collector. It's the first one, first MLB debut. It's a 7. Really nice ticket. Very excited about getting this one. Like I said, the guy had a bunch of tickets, a lot of Ohtani stuff. He had Tatis debuts. He had a few other Ohtani items. Another purchase that I bought from him, I tried to buy another one of these. This was another item I bought on the 3rd or 4th day. I have a Cubs season ticket holder, Game 7, I believe in like a 6, 7, or 8. But I saw this box off, and I like the box office version because it's, I think, a little harder to find, and it's a nice box office version. And what I really like about it, it actually has the Cubs name on it. The season ticket holder version does not have the Cubs name on it. It just says Indians. It's fancy. But there's nowhere it says the Cubs. And with this being a 9, I thought it was a nice purchase. I think he wanted $550 for it. He was mainly old time collector of bobbleheads and cards and all sorts of stuff. And they had some tickets lying around in a box. I got them down to $450. I thought that was a solid purchase. The thing about I like about these tickets is, when somebody buys these tickets, especially a Cubs fan, they're never selling this ticket, and that's way down the road unless they need the money. And I think it's just an awesome item because who knows when the Cubs are going to win another World Series. The last one was 1908, and for any Cubs fan who lived through that and won that World Series, greatest sports moment of their life. So I don't see how a ticket like this, a lot of these will ever hit the market. And if they do, a Cubs fan's going to buy them. And I can see it really holding its value, and I just like it. I think it's a nice looking ticket. I think the season ticket holder ticket is nice too. As you can see, $550 what the seller wanted. So that's one of my purchases. I tried to buy another one, but the guy wouldn't go lower than I believe $550. And I already had one, so I held off on it. Another one that I bought, talking about the Cubs, here's a Red Sox. So the reason I bought this one is because it's a full ticket. Fulls definitely have a premium. I have some stubs. Stubs are a lot easier to find. A lot of people use these at the game. But a full stub, which is in nice condition, this one is an 8. Same thing I talked about with the Cubs. Being a Cubs fan, if you won that title that year, you'll never forget it. Same thing with this one, the first one since 1918. I believe I bought this on the second to last day or the last day. See if I could get a really good deal. I think I got it for $400. He originally wanted $550. I put in a low offer. He accepted it. I bought a few other items from the seller. He's a great seller. Actually, I might even have his business card. He had a lot of good stuff. He had a Jim Brown debut ticket, a lot of old baseball tickets, and I believe I've got a couple cards, but this is tickets from the past is who I bought this from, Mark Townsend. He had a lot of great tickets, and I bought another one from him. Great collection. He had more at home. I wish he would have brought them all. But I got this one from him, and I was very happy with it. Great condition. Really cool ticket. Something I'll hold on to for a while for sure. The other ticket I bought from him that's kind of in the same realm is this one. So when I first showed up to Mark's table, he did not have this. So apparently somebody came to his table and sold him this ticket or part of a trade, and then he flipped it to me. So I bought this ticket. He had originally $1,100, so I brought some tickets I wanted to sell or trade. It was a Game 6 Carlton Fisk home run, Red Sox World Series. So he was interested in that ticket. I valued it around $300 to $400, so we made a deal somewhere around $850. Reason I got this ticket, number one, it's a full. Fulls are pretty hard to find. I believe it's definitely a lower pop. There's only about 5 or 6 of these full tickets that are higher graded. It's in great condition. It's iconic. The Buckner game, Game 6. Just a really, really nice ticket. Like I said, I was very excited to get this one. Been looking for a while. You can find stubs on eBay every so often. I had this price them up there right now. But to find a full can be pretty difficult and pretty pricey. Another one, of course, I think it'll hold its value just because it's so iconic. New York, Mets, Yankees, anything New York always has a larger following. I was a huge Rangers fan. I remember Game 6 Cardinals, Rangers, the 2011 World Series. I think that was possibly more devastating than this loss for the Mets, but nobody talks about it because it's the Rangers, and New York is king. But, just a really, really cool ticket. And, I love collecting great games, historic games, debuts, things of that. A couple more things that I bought that I really wasn't looking for, but here's the little trick, little idea if you go to future shows. So I was at a guy who had programs, and inside the programs he had stubs. And he's definitely a program guy. He probably had hundreds and hundreds of programs, but only a few tickets. But inside the programs, he had 2 Game 1 Jackie Robinson's debut World Series. I love anything Jackie Robinson. He's super iconic. I think he'll always hold his value. And anything he's involved in, historic, I'm interested in. These tickets I may not have been interested in if they weren't such high quality, as you can see. This one is really, really nice. You see a little crease in the upper left-hand corner on the bottom, where they took the stub, but it's still not bad at all. On the edges, you can see a little, color change. But overall, a very, very nice ticket that I plan on getting graded when PSA lowers their fees. I believe I paid around $200 or so for that one, or $400 total. Here's another one. I believe this one's in even better condition. Maybe on the bottom where the tear is, but you're going to get some of that when they're ripping the bottom stub off. But these are just really, really nice tickets that I think will grade really well. Probably a PSA 3, 4, anything above that would be great. As you can see, a little perforation on the top. But overall, very, very high quality. And think about World Series tickets. The pop report is much, much higher because people always save their World Series tickets. They paid a lot of money to go to those games. They're historic. So they're not going to forget about it. They're going to bring it home, especially if it was a win or a great memory. So you'll see a lot more of those compared to some, debuts from the 70s, 80s, 60s. Those are very rare. They were the first time a guy ever played, but it wasn't historic at the time. Nobody knew a Mickey Mantle. Heck, nobody knew even Jackie Robinson. They knew he was, the first black player in MLB, but people really didn't keep their tickets, and back then nobody really thought about holding their tickets. So, overall, those items are what I got at the National. I think they were great pickups, and I highly recommend anybody attending the National. The first one I went to was about 3 years ago, and there weren't many tickets at all. It was really finding a needle in a haystack. I went to Chicago 2 years ago, and I'm flipping around. Went to Chicago 2 years ago, and there's more tickets, one or two tables this year. There was a good 3 or 4 tickets, basically totally dedicated. Some pretty nice stuff. And as future conventions go on, I definitely see tickets being on the upswing. Darren Ravella had a table there. I only think for a couple days. Really, really rare, nice, cool stuff. Hard to find. He either wouldn't sell me what he had because he's a collector and that's what he collects. He was more showpieces, or kind of out of what I was wanting to spend on some other tickets that I liked but didn't love. I'll buy a $5 or $10 ticket, or I'll buy something way more than that. One other little random purchase that I made, which was kind of a flyer. I did some research on Magic Johnson's debut season. So this is a 1979 preseason ticket, Lakers versus San Diego Clippers. So I did a little research, and it's really, really hard to find preseason debuts, for anything in the 90s, 80s, 70s, because you just weren't write-ups much on these preseason games. Who played, who didn't play. It's really hard to find. The best way to find, who played in those games is going to newspapers.com and looking at old newspapers that have been scanned. Because sometimes you just can't find that preseason information. So that's a good little tip. If you're trying to find, did this player play in this game, for a preseason? Did he start? Is it his first game? Read the article write-up the next day. So I was hoping this was Magic Johnson's first preseason game, but unfortunately all my research has shown that it was on the 26th. So I couldn't really find it at the time, and it was so cheap. I ended up buying it for $15. As you see, the cost was $20. So technically as far as my research shown, this is his second preseason game. So I was disappointed. I thought I hit a home run, on next to nothing purchase of $15, but it is what it is. It was $15. I got a second preseason game. So, oh well. Maybe I'll find another needle in a haystack. Well, that's it. First IG Live for all you ticket collectors out there. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got some good insight. I see Sean jumped on, who, tried to get me to do a little IG Live. And I see Rob out in California. And, of course, my wife upstairs jumped on. She's probably out of curiosity. So maybe when I get something from PSA in or get out of my safe and see what I got, I'll put it back up. See you guys next time.